You made it. This is the last lesson. So by now, you should know the beginner copywriting mistakes that you might be making. If you don't know, if you forgot, make sure you check back to the first lesson and make sure you're not making any of those mistakes. You should also know how to use the words of your customers because you now know how to research your customers, okay? And number 3, you should know how to design quality landing pages. You should also know the principles of a highly converting sales message, right? And you should be including those principles as you put together your sales letter, whether it's a video sales letter, whether it's a landing page for your sales page, right? Or whether it's just an advertisement. By the way, you should also be knowing how to write benefit statements, bullets, and headlines that get customers' attention and increase perceived value of your product so they actually click and buy, and so you can actually deliver. Today, we're gonna learn what happens after all that, right? So let's say you've built an email list, or let's say a customer has already bought from you, and you wanna keep in touch with them with like a newsletter. Or let's say you have another offer, right? So how do you write a sales email that sells without being spammy or annoying, okay? Here's what we're gonna learn, right? We're gonna learn how to write subject lines to get people to click, right? And you're gonna write them in 30 seconds. They're super easy to do. So this video, this lesson is gonna be shorter than most, okay? So I'm gonna teach you exactly what to include in your email marketing efforts to build trust, brand, and authority. I'm gonna teach you how to sell on email without sounding like a salesperson, okay? So what is the purpose of an email? The purpose of an email is to build relationship and trust. That's it. That's it. You're not trying to sell anything. You're not trying to get them to do anything, right? You're just building relationship and trust. That's the fundamental purpose of an email. Call to actions can be included, but is secondary to the first point, okay? So the purpose of an email is not to sell, okay? Don't put your sales letter in your email. It's way too long, they're not gonna read it, and it's ugly, right? Don't write a 1,000-word sales letter or include a video in your email, right? Because it's gonna take time to load, they're gonna be like, what is this? And they're gonna just delete it, okay? Your goal is just to tell the audience about what you have. It's their choice if they wanna check it out, okay? So keeping that in mind, how do you write subject lines for your email that gets people to click in 30 seconds? There's only one way, right? Well, actually, there's more than one way, but I'm going to show you the easiest way. The question. The question. That's it, right? And with this one question, you're going to get their attention by appealing to their pain or dream outcome, right? You're going to open a loop that you're gonna close in your email, right? A psychological loop, right? That's what cliffhangers do if you've ever watched Netflix, right? So for example, need money? Can I ask you a question? Want more customers? Right? Eating too much sweets? No progress losing weight? You suck at note taking? Right? By the way, if you're not taking notes, shame on you, right? You need to be taking notes, okay? Because there's a lot that I talk about that isn't included in the PowerPoint, okay? So get rid of all distractions. Make sure you're taking notes right now, okay? But any of these questions work really well. And I'm sure if you Google, you can probably find more email subject lines, but I don't want to share with you 20 subject lines and then give you decision paralysis and you're not gonna know what to pick. Just use this one, right? Get comfortable using this one and then find one more and just use that one, right? And then find one more and eventually you'll build up your repertoire, but as a beginner, just use the question, okay? So that's it, easy, right? Exactly what to include in your email in all your marketing efforts to build trust, brand, and authority, right? You want to include a call to action always in all your communications to content or to a sales page, right? So the sales email gets buyers or your audience to take an action, right? Either to click to your content or to click to your sales page. So you want to include a salutations, right? You want to say hi and then use their first name, right? Hi, first name. Sometimes I use that in the subject line and that's a question. I write like, hey Leon, ? Right? So make sure you use their first name because you're on a one-to-one basis. There's no reason why you should use something like, hey everyone, or just hey, right? And then you want to use a shocking statement or question. Does this sound familiar, right? This is exactly like the sales message, right? So for example, if I were writing a finance newsletter, I might start with something like, rising interest rates will prove Warren Buffett right yet again. And you need to get in on what he recommends for the average investor. Okay. And then I got 2 to 4 bullets that delivers on that shocking statement or question, right? Following our formula about benefits, right? So for example, I write something like, hey, I put together an article that shows how the average retail investor will continue to lose more money if they keep their stocks in Netflix or something like that, right? Like something that shows the benefits of the person clicking or taking the call to action, right? And something that is true that I can deliver on in the content or in the product. And then in the end, I have a call to action, right? Click the link now to take a look, right? So that's something that is directly asking the audience to take an action. But what if I have something that provides value in my email? Like what if I include the value in my email, which is fine, right? A lot of people have newsletters that are valuable in and of themselves. So the value email is great for newsletters where your content is in the email, right? In which case you literally just put the content there, right? But it can also be used to sell, right? So for example, you would use salutations, exactly the same thing, like, hi, Leon, right? Then you put your newsletter content, right? So this year's newsletter is about this, and this, right? James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, has a 3-2-1 newsletter that he sends out every single week that provides valuable content, right? And then in the end, sometimes he has a little call to action, right? And this call to action plays on the reciprocation principle. If you've ever heard of the book Influence, one of the biggest principles is the reciprocation principle that persuades people to do something after you've given them value, right? They did a study on the amount of money that one person would be willing to donate if you offered them a Coke, right, a soft drink for free before you asked them to donate. And they found that that person on average is willing to donate a lot more money, right, more than the value of the Coke if you've just given them a Coke beforehand, right? Super interesting book, super interesting study, totally recommend it. But here's how you can use it, right? By the way, my product is still available. Click the link now to take a look. Right? By the way, my latest video is on blah, blah, blah. Click the link now to take a look, right? You still have the call to action there, but it's kind of like a sneaky way of saying, hey, I've given you value, and hey, if you're interested in this topic, click the link now. I'll give you even more value, right? I'll give you even more solutions to your problem, right? Because chances are your product is an extension to solving the problem that your newsletter will provide, right? And so how do you sell on email? And I already showed you. But how do you sell on email without sounding like a salesperson? This is called a Columbo close, right? There's actually a term for it. You want to preface your call to actions with the following words to not sound salesy. Like you're a friend, reminding another friend of something cool, right? So you're using words like, hey, by the way, or, oh, before I forget, or just wanted to let you know, right? Or in case you didn't know, right? Or anyways, right? Or, oh, one last thing, right? So an example of that is, hey, before I forget, the discount on my course is about to end, right? If you're still thinking about getting in, click here before the price goes up next month, right? That's a really like low-key transition way of saying like, hey, like if you're still interested, buy this thing, right? It's a lot better than being like, hey, my course is good. Click the link and pay money, right? It's a lot better than doing that. And it's informal, right? Which is what a letter is supposed to sound like, okay? So that's is it, right? You've come to the conclusion of the course. If you've made it, you're a rock star. Make sure you stay on my email list because you'll be the first to know if I have a new book or course coming out. I often like to give my subscribers early access freebies, right? So if you're watching this, you're probably getting this course for free. Second thing, I actually did start a TikTok account. Follow me on TikTok at King Educates. I'm documenting my online business journey, going from making $0 a month to $10,000 a month. I'm probably sharing a little too much about my business on there, but I mean, it's truth, right? It's truth, right? There's nothing bad about sharing the truth. Lastly, I wish you success. I do. I wish you success on your online business journey, and I want you to know that you are supported, right? Feel free to reach out to kingeducates@gmail.com for questions, suggestions, and or coaching. At the time of making this course, I actually don't get that many emails, so I actually respond to every single email. But I'm sure as more and more people take this course and as more and more people email me, I won't be able to stay on top of things. And so that's all I just wanted to say. If you're in this course at a later time and I'm not responding to your emails, I apologize in advance. I really do try my best, okay? So that's it. I hope you enjoyed our time together. Thank you for your attention and hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.